Of our analysis on the ever-evolving situation in the Middle East, we turn now to Dr. Bianca Adair, Director of Intelligence Studies at the Catholic University of America. Dr. Adair, great to be with you again. Earlier today, 2 cargo ships in the Red Sea were targeted by missile strikes from Houthi rebels who support Hamas. This is the latest attack on the foreign cargo ships since Israel-Hamas war before it began. Bianca, tell us more about the Houthis and why attack these ships? I mean, what is their goal here?
Thank you. First and foremost, thank you very much for being able to talk with you tonight. The situation with the Houthis is a pretty serious one, in part because the Houthis act and operate at the behest of Iran. And the fact that the Houthis are conducting these types of attacks, especially against shipping vessels, this is a warning to the United States and all of our allies. There are more than 23,000 ships that go through the Red Sea in that Bab el-Mandeb area, which is where the Houthis are attempting to take control. And the Iranian defense minister just yesterday defied the United States, working in coalition with our allies to stop what the Houthis are doing. The Houthis themselves do not have any capacity to make weapons or to conduct the types of attacks that they are. They have been emboldened by Iran and trained and equipped by the Iranian or the IRGC, the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps. What the Houthis are doing is a significant threat to the U.S. interests, and frankly, global interests with respect to the Red Sea.
Something else I want to talk about, incident that happened on Thursday in Europe. Police in Germany, Denmark, and the Netherlands made a number of arrests in what is being described as an alleged Hamas-linked terror plot targeting Jews and Jewish institutions over there. What more do we know about this, and what does this all signal?
Yeah, this was in and of itself surprising. The number one reason why it's surprising is Hamas is not known as a global terrorist organization. These arrests that occurred are now associated, specifically those in Germany and the Netherlands, specifically attributed to Hamas. And then, of course, there are questionable arrests and ongoing investigations in Denmark. And the question is whether or not all of those are related. But Hamas is not known as a global terrorist organization. They're known as what we would consider a local or regional terrorist organization, normally specifically focused on Israel. So the fact that Hamas decided to begin to action what apparently was a pre-planned approach, either in Germany or in the Netherlands against Jewish targets, is another signal that we have even a growing problem with Hamas. Specifically, Hamas coordinates very closely with Hezbollah. And of course, both Hamas and Hezbollah are trained and equipped by the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps. That in and of itself shows, again, as in the case with the Houthis, you have Iranian fingerprints all over all of this. For Hamas, though, to begin to reach out and act a little bit more like Hezbollah, we now have to be concerned as well, not just with our own interests in Europe, but also in the United States. Hamas has a reach and a network that is connected to its charitable organizations and activities that had previously been considered legal as long as they were not directly touching on Hamas and its military wing in Europe and even in the United States. This is a signal that we should be very concerned, not unlike what the FBI director has been repeating over the last month and a half, that there is a significant terrorist concern. And thankfully, the Germans were able to get ahead of this type of an attack with the warning that there may be others being planned. The other piece of this that is heartening, the evidence or whatever the trigger for these investigations, at least in one of the cases, appears to have come from Israel. So that's helpful for us to know that the Israelis are working very closely with all of their allies, in Europe and the United States, without a doubt. That helps because that may mean that there are at least breadcrumbs that can be picked up and tracked for investigations to prevent terrorist attacks from happening.
Well, Dr. Adair, very important conversation. Thank you so much for weighing in and sharing your expertise with us. We always appreciate it.
Thank you so much.